and happy 100K Bitcoin. I don't know how many more times we're going to be wishing people happy 100K Bitcoin. In some ways, I kind of wish this is the last. Maybe Bitcoin will never go back under 100K anymore, but it always has a way of surprising us. I mean, I I am a believer in that it will hit 10 mil in the next 10 years, and it will take us along for the journey with many other things and with many other areas it continues to explore, such as Bitcoin real world assets, leverage against Bitcoin, Bitcoin in in company treasuries, investing Bitcoin in Bitcoin startups, Bitcoin revenues, mining Bitcoin in ways that are not traditional mining, but like just using company cash flows to acquire Bitcoin, allocating to cash flow businesses that acquire Bitcoin. I feel like I said that same thing. Um, so exciting times, and I think there will be more mistakes to be made uh, to before we start actually earning that $10 million, uh, sorry, $1 million value, 10x from where we are right now. And we're talking to the car today actually, and just like random thought came up where, I mean, how many billionaires or extremely rich people do you know that have not made also $1 billion mistakes? Like, to be up there and to learn the lessons that it takes to be a billionaire, you kind of have to lose a billion. You have to pay $1 billion to learn the lesson to be a multi-billion dollar, to be a dollar. Yeah. So here we are out and about making mistakes all over again. And I think yesterday's video was very choppy. I actually chose not to upload it onto Instagram because it was like really weird and laggy. So I'm not doing it on the phone really anymore unless I have a good connection and good RAM and good processing power around. But I spoke mostly about, merging and melding, being serious and sincere with play and joy and putting that together. Because I even found myself just talking to a day to an old friend that I met in Dubai last time I went, and then, just caught up with him again this time. I found myself like, oh, am I underselling myself, or oh, am I overselling this? And there's just these thoughts at the back of your head, and you're always constantly evaluating and judging your situation, your place, and you have a goal that you're working towards, and you're also trying to be present. Like, that's weird, but like, you put effort into being present. Um, where between over and under selling is just selling, and really it's about when you're just having fun, when you're just talking about what you do, the way you do it, and just representing what you learned along the way. And the people who it's meant for and who get you will get you. And you're not trying to impress anybody particularly. You're not trying to um, make up for something that's not there. It's just apparent. It's just 100K. I bought the dip. Can't say how much, or uh, if we're playing the volatility. But I think one thing that's come up, especially with as we talk about, like, challenges moving forward, what's it like 100K to 100K to 1 mil? Um, there's a lot of, I think, challenges within the Bitcoin community itself. Like, it's definitely it's definitely established itself, honestly, as, I think, the reserve asset for crypto and really the new economy of the world, in the sense of the internet really establishing itself as its own economy. And there's still a lot of conflict, healthy conflict, I say, I think, in just determining and molding the future of how we want things to play out. We had the huge block size war in the past. We had SegWit wars, just many upgrades to the protocol and things that we allow or disallow, or um, as a consensus, right, to Bitcoin. And we're definitely going to have more of that. and I think it's cool to have an opinion and share that and defend it and fight for it and push code and build and test and make mistakes around it. Um, but I've also been seeing people like, really going after individuals as well. And maybe they deserve it, honestly. Some people really are a-holes. But, I think we can all have some humility and class in talking about what Bitcoin is and can be. And again, reflecting on the 100K, it's like, I think it's easy for Bitcoiners who've been in this space for a long time or who have had a lot, like who have managed to put aside a lot of cash towards it, right? They've already been successful in business in some ways and they've just been like buying up more Bitcoin along the way. To lose perspective, I think, on on the average person or just the newcomer to Bitcoin. And it's hard to actually, like, even for myself, I find like it's hard to onboard like a new Bitcoiner. It's like, oh, you're new to Bitcoin. Like my mom wants to buy again, and I'm like, okay, mom, this time why don't you kind of do it, right? Actually, she actually offered to just do it herself, and which I'm proud of, and I'd love to see more and more, people really take initiative to own and learn their own Bitcoin, because that's really how it continues to grow and be healthy. And I, together with that, it's almost a relief for me because I'm like, it's just like it's so natural to me, like how to manage my wallets or like the whole system I have set up for protecting Bitcoin. Um, how do I even get her started? So it's really nice to see people really make that effort to go out of the way to just answer questions that are simple to anyone new to the system, and also for people who are building at the bleeding cutting edge, to offer the feedback that may come to you for whatever insight or foresight you might have and see. That's all I have today. Next we go happy 200K Bitcoin, right? And actually, maybe next time I'll actually talk about like other, like the buy and hold strategy versus, people leveraging versus people trading, like all the things that I mentioned. I think uh, in general, there seems to be a market consensus on a 25% chagger on Bitcoin. People do share the idea that Bitcoin's going to hit a million in 10 years' time. And some of these strategies are going to do better than the others at different times as well. And I'd like to explore like a simple idea of like, okay, what if someone needs to buy their first home, right? What sort of like leverage they're getting and what sort of movements they might be expecting and how that might compare against just buying and holding Bitcoin. Because the reality is that we're all just in very different, unique situations. And yeah, no, I think shilling and marketing and ideology and cult groups tend to kind of like, this is the way. And it might be for a certain group of people, and it just doesn't make sense for another group, right? Yeah, so I'll just explore that. I'll explore some other alternatives to only buy and hold Bitcoin.